and they make you live enlightenment. Only an avatar can decode the Akashic readings, as the avatar of Paramashiva, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, has graced humanity with the blessings and darshan in the form of Devi Parashakti, revealing answers to questions to the yearning of seekers as solutions, breakthroughs, and liberating humanity from pain and suffering. Any answer given by Devi Parashakti is not just an answer, but a karmic breakthrough for the receiver. So the Shastra Pramana, or the scriptural reference for Akashic reading, is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. And the verse translates, Bhagavan Paramashiva says, looking at the spotless infinite etheric space, Akasha, beyond the sky and clouds, one should fix one's gaze from the third eye without blinking, continuously, and make the body and inner space steady and motionless. In that very moment, O Devi, one attains the nature and powers of the infinite space, Bhairava. And the Apta Pramana, the reference of the powers for Akashic readings. And this is from the Mahabharata. In the Hindu Purana, the Mahabharata, it narrates that the story of the great sage Maitreyi, who reveals the secrets to Vidura, the story of his birth in human form and the reasons of all his sufferings. Sage Maitreya accessed the Akashic records and told Vidura that he was not an ordinary man, but was in fact an incarnation of Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. He was to play the part of a so-called Shudra for 100 years, being cursed by Mandukanu. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says that all of the information you've collected from all of your births is in your DNA. You can access some of them just to understand and not to waste time doing the same actions again and again. Accessing the DNA code, reading the Akashic records will be useful for you to be liberated from your default future, bringing an end to binding cognitions, known and unknown suffering, and leading you to experience Paramashivoham. And only an avatar can alter the Akashic readings. While the initiated Balasans can view the Akashic records, it is only an avatar who can alter, edit, upgrade, and change the Akashic records. During the darshan and dikshas, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blesses and upgrades the Akashic records as per the prayer of the devotee. So what can you ask in the Akashic readings? You can learn the most accurate and unbiased answer to any question about your life, destiny, purpose, or any everyday part of your life. Be spiritually healed of physical and emotional problems with just a look or touch. You can understand the reasons behind your life's happenings, and you can receive blessings to fulfill your right desires. And you can ultimately get clarity to redesign your future. So we have been so blessed over the last several months to have Devi Parashakti's blessings, guidance, and initiation, and all of our prayers answered by Devi Parashakti. So in this segment, we will go through some of Devi Parashakti's revelations during the Akashic readings and understand how they have manifested in our reality today. Devi has been continuously blessing people individually, but also has been guiding humanity through various revelations. So let us enter into this segment and understand what Devi has revealed. Actually, we can go to the revelations from Devi Parashakti on Padayatra? Thank you, Mom. So as we wait for those, let us understand how we can actually have all of our prayers answered by Devi Parashakti. You can ask any of your questions or prayer requests in the comments below in the YouTube comment section. And today we will be having the live Akashic readings from Devi Parashakti manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself. So you have the opportunity to ask all of your questions and have all of your prayers answered today. So do stay tuned. We will be having that in just a couple hours at 6 a.m. IST. So you can ask your questions on YouTube, you can ask your questions on Facebook, and you can ask your questions on Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp as well. So do take time and ensure that you are receiving Devi Parashakti's blessings more deeply. So if I could request the volunteer to share the slides on Padayatra. So as we wait, let us understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed. So as all of us know, the after effects of Pralaya are still very severe. Humanity is still undergoing everything of this cosmic deluge, this Pralaya, and thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic, the emerging fungal epidemic, and along with the record number of natural disasters, have taken a huge toll on humanity's collective psyche, leading to an increase in poverty, malnutrition, depression, and mental health issues. So what has caused this? Who is behind this, and how could we have avoided this? What is the solution for all of this? In this segment, let us go through a scientific and statistical understanding of Devi Parashakti, the cause and solution of this pralaya. So all of us know that the current state of the world is very dire. Over 4 million people have already died of this COVID pandemic, and there have been over 175 million cases of COVID-19, and this number is just on the drastic incline. And the worst affected countries are US, India, and Brazil. And in India alone, there have been over 29 million cases of COVID-19, with over 374,000 deaths due to COVID-19 and over 75 million people falling into poverty since the beginning of this pandemic. And these numbers are considered to be severely underreported. So the actual situation in India could be much worse, and it's expected that it could be up to 14 times worse than what has been reported in the media. So the situation in India is very, very dire. And it is not just that India is suffering from this ongoing pandemic, but there is a suicide and depression epidemic hitting the country. Over 6.5% of the population is suffering from some form of mental illness, and a suicide rate of 10.9 for every 1 lakh people. And suicide is one of the biggest causes of death in the age group of 15 to 24. India is also considered the 6th most depressed country in the world. And India is not just suffering from this ongoing pandemic and the suicide epidemic, but natural disasters have been devastating the country. We've all heard of the cyclones in Kerala and most recently the floods in Maharashtra. And as all of this is going on, we are preparing for the third wave, which is looking to be inevitable in India. So how could we have prevented this? How could we have avoided this? Let us understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed about this.
2022 வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய்த் தெரிந்து கொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்து கொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
So let's understand Devi Parashakti's revelations mapped into English. For this huge Kirmi Bhojanam hell not to come to India in 2020 itself, I had planned to do the Padayatra throughout India and the 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji. They chased the captain of the ship out of the country. See what is going to happen. So let us go back to 2017 when the Supreme Concept of Hinduism revealed the vision for this Padayatra. Let's watch that video now.
Want to do 1 year Padayatra specially for this purpose in 2020. 2020, planning for a full year. I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 2020, there will not be any program other than Padayatra and just spending time with people. Just walking. Of course, 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. Enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers. Walking from village to village. What do you think will happen? The scene of Buddhism spreading will be repeated now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy India and let India enjoy me. So planning for next year Kumbh Mela 2019, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that, all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. This will be the Balalayam. And after the Mulalayam is built, this Balalayam will serve as a Utsava Murti Sannidhi, where the Utsava Murtis will be worshipped and where the Archanas. See, in the main temple, there will not be any Archana or anything, because just for darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have darshan and Arati, the camp for Arati. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. Because 12 Abhishekam is going to happen, 12 Kala Abhishekams. So continuously the rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Balalayam, the present Balalayam, present structure. So people can spend time here. That will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padayatra, walking. From next year, Jayanti, means 2019's Jayanti to 2020's Jayanti. Full year, Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padayatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifestors. It will be sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma can be done. I need to get into the ground where people can see me, where they are living. I can't be waiting for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make this science completely user-friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. So I have given 2 years for me now, 2018 and 2019. So 2020, before that 10,000 people will be ready to walk with me, manifesting powers. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking, the path, route we are taking, physical healing or mental healing, or it's a too big visualization. How will you visualize? What will happen if 10,000 power manifestors enter into a village and ask people, tell me your problem now, come on, let's sort it out. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings, how the baby will be in the womb in second month, third month, all that is detailed way carved. It is there.
Yes, so we can, next slide please. So the Supreme Concept of Hinduism reveals the vision for the Padayatra and stated that this would literally would be like the scene of Buddhism spreading again. And we would see that we would see that literally Hinduism would be revived in India once again, from 10,000 people walking with the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. So people can see the Supreme Concept of Hinduism where they are and can receive his blessings and solutions for every problem. So since the age of 10, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been enriching people and preparing them for this Padayatra to save them from this pralaya and to ultimately give them the experience of super consciousness. And from that age, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been enriching and initiating the masses into the science of enlightenment through various powerful discourses, initiations, and darshans. In the next several slides, we will see some of the various programs that the Supreme Concept has been conducting over the last 3 decades. First, in Vellore, Tamil Nadu, the Miracles of Existence program. In Rasipuram, Tamil Nadu, what is the need for a guru? In Namakkal, Tamil Nadu, Society is Nothing But Your Mind program. In Salem, Tamil Nadu, the Nithyananda program. And the Nithyanandam program in Adi Kailasha Sadhya Pita. each of these photos, you can see how many thousands of people were in attendance, how many people from different backgrounds were in attendance, and the birth star celebrations in Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu. The Jayanti celebrations in Adi Kailasha Satviki. Jayanti celebrations in Tiruvannamalai. The Nithyananda Paramashivam program. The Guru Purnima celebrations in Adi Kailasha Satviki. The Bhakti Spurna program. The Dhyana Spurna program. And the Little Anandas program, which was specifically to initiate the youth to be initiated into the science of enlightenment. And the Saptayagam, which was conducted in Salem, Tamil Nadu. The Saptayagam was a series of homas conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which we'll see in the next several photos. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism not only conducted the homas, but also guided 1,008 other people, other disciples, to performing the same homas. You can see the photos of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performing the homas. And this was a huge offering to humanity to bring peace and auspiciousness to humanity. And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessing people, guiding people into these various homas. Yes, more photos of the various celebrations. And here, the Nithyananda Paramashivam program in Adi Kailasha Satviki. And the Nithyananda Paramashivam program in Salem, Tamil Nadu. And all of these programs, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was tirelessly working to bring the science of enlightenment to the world and to ensure that people are able to survive this pralaya and to ultimately have the superconscious breakthrough for which the avatar himself has taken the advent onto earth. However, the anti-Hindu elements have made it nearly impossible to do the re-energizing process by driving the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism out of India. So let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on the solution for this, revealed on the 31st of May.
2022 வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய்த் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
So Devi revealed that only when the supreme concept of Hinduism is received in India again with great reverence and respect, and as the head of Kailasa nation, and is able to perform the Padayatra and do the re-energizing process of the 12 Jyotirlingas, only then will we see an end to this pralaya in India. And as we look around, we see what the great rishis of the Vedic civilization have forewarned as this Kali Yuga. And in the Kurma Purana, it states that the Kali Yuga is the worst of all the 4 yugas, where man will be his own worst enemy. And the translation of this verse, translation of this verse states that this Kali Yuga is the worst of the 4 yugas. In all the worlds, people are sinful and forget the dharma of the 4 varanas and the 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is free from such sins is the great sacred city of Varanasi, the Mahapuri. And Kurma Purana continues that the Lord Rudra, Paramashiva himself, is the avatar for the Kali Yuga, and it states that Brahma is the presiding divinity or Devata, the Lord for the Krita Yuga, the first cycle of time. In the Treta Yuga, the second cycle of time, it is Bhagavan Ravi, Surya, in which appeared Sri Rama. The Dvapara Yuga, the third cycle of time, the presiding divinity is Vishnu, and in the Kali Yuga, the fourth cycle of time, the current age, the presiding divinity, the avatar is Rudra, Lord Maheshwara, Mahasadashva himself. And out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashiva himself descended in the human body in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, on the 2nd of January, 1978. And if Paramashiva himself, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, had waited even one more year to take the human form, it would have been too late for humanity. 1979 would have been too late. So let us watch that video and understand what this exactly means in the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism itself.
And I tell you, O Hindus, don't be afraid. I am back with the same science. We are going to be rich. It is not lost. Just the last minute climax. Before it was going to be put off, I've happened. (1979) would have been late. 1970 would have been late. If I had time, I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. O Hindus, feel blessed. Science is not dead. It is available. I have everything needed to bring that science back to life and establish its legitimacy.
And the avatar's advent onto planet Earth was to protect the world from this great cosmic deluge, to bring the new age, the Satya Yuga. So let us understand from Devi Parashakti herself what this means.
ஓம் 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 உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே. நித்யானந்தன் வடிவம் தாங்கி நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்யயுகம் செய்வோம், நித்யயுகம் சத்தியயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
So let us understand what Devi has revealed in English. People of the world, listen. Kali Yuga has matured, and over time, it has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. I will make Nitya Yuga. Nitya Yuga will blossom as Satya Yuga. Be blissful. For this huge hell-giving Bhojam not to come to India. 2020, I had planned to do the Padayatra throughout India in the 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji. And in order to prepare for this, the avatar began the Padayatra at the mere age of 10. And the Supreme Concept of Buddhism began enriching people one person at a time with the truths from the sacred scriptures and the secrets of higher living. Even as the Supreme Concept of Buddhism was just a teenager, all of his classmates recalled the yatra where the Supreme Concept of Hinduism led them from Gudiyatham, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, the birthplace of the Supreme Concept of Buddhism and a huge spiritual pilgrimage site. And when the Supreme Concept of Hinduism was just 19 years old, all the monks at the Ramakrishna Manth recalled the yatra where the Supreme Concept of Hinduism led them from Chennai to Tiruvannamalai and gave them an unforgettable pilgrimage trip experience. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism continued walking the length and breadth of India, reaching more and more people and preparing each one until the Supreme Concept of Hinduism founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally on the 31st of December, 1999. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism established the very first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Tiruchendur, Tamil Nadu on the 14th of 2001. And here you can see the photo of the inauguration day when the Supreme Concept of Hinduism was just 23 years old. And in 2003, the Avatar continued his Vijayatra all over the world to enrich people from various backgrounds. And with the Supreme Concept of Hinduism's intensity and dedication for the people, even among crowds where thousands did not understand English, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism's voice resonated deeply and moved each one to tears. And in 2004, the Avatar led his disciples on the very first Himalayan Yatra, visiting temples, delivering satsangs, and initiating them into the superconscious breakthrough. And subsequently, the Avatar personally organized and led yatras yearly and guided individual souls not just to physical spiritual sites, but to supernal spiritual realms. And in 2006, the Padayatras were taken to the next level with the Kodikanda Yatra, where thousands, crores participated and were impacted by Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari, who traveled from city to city blessing people. So let us watch a short video of the Kodikanda Yatra in 2006. And the Kodikanda Yatra culminated with the consecration and inauguration of the Gardha Mandir, the sanctum sanctorum, where Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva and Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti and the Swayambhulinga and Adi Kailasha celebrated the and the deities were energized as Abhyavataras to radiate the energy of Paramashiva and Parashakti to create the Adi Kailasha Sarvitmapidam as a ship to save humanity from this upcoming pralaya. And the Supreme Pontificate Buddhism created innumerable spiritual energy centers in India as safe havens during this great deluge. And just a few are the Kailasa in Tiruchendur, the Adi Kailasha Sarvitmapidam in Bangalore, and the Kailasa in Hyderabad. And in 2008, the Avatar created and energized the Nithyananda Vajas River, the Anandalingam, which would protect anyone who bathes in its waters from the deadly COVID-19 disease. Let us watch a short video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performing Abhishekam for this Anandalingam.
जनमस्सहस्राक्षाय च चतुर्धन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय जिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय च शुमते च नमो स्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयते च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नम आशवे च जिराय च नम शीघ्रियाय च शीघ्राय च नम ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नम स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्रोप्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय च आशुरथाय च नमः शूराय च अवभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरुथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गितवे च इधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूप्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो
We can continue to the next slide. Yes, we can move to the next slide, please. So we can move to the next slide, please. Yes, ma'am. We can move to the next slide, please. Yes, ma'am. We can move to the next slide, please. Sorry for the technical glitch. So, the Supreme Hearts of Buddhism energized the Nithyananda River with the Navabhashana Anandalingam, which was created to ensure that people are protected during this COVID-19 pandemic. And this was created over 12 years ago, and it fully ripened to its peak energy this year in July 2020, just for the sake of healing people during this COVID-19 pandemic. And the Avatar also has also done another Padayatra in 2009, another Kodika Padayatra. If we could, I could request the volunteer to project the slides for the Padayatra, the Kodika Padayatra in 2009. Yes. So let's watch a short video of this Kodika Padayatra in 2009, which garnered international attention and created a movement where lakhs of Hindus were once again embracing Hinduism.
போல நின்பதம் கண்ட என் மனம் நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நின்முகம் நீனைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாகவே ஆனதே இதய சக்கரம் அனகதமும் இனிமையோடு திறந்ததே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய.
And wherever the Avatar's feet have graced the planet Earth, there the seeds of super consciousness have been sown. And with over 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems all over the world, over 1 billion people have been enriched and enriched by the Supreme Concept of Buddhism. And in the next several slides, we will see just a few of the various Kailasas that the Supreme Quantum of Hinduism has created for this superconscious breakthrough to happen for humanity. The very first is the Kailasa Giro, the Adi Nithyananda Paramashivam, the very first Kailasa Nithyananda system. The next is the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda in Bangalore, India. The Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai. The Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. One photos of the Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. The Kailasa in Los Angeles, California. The Kailasa in San Jose, California. The Kailasa, again, more photos of the Kailasa in San Jose. The Kailasa in Seattle, Washington. The Kailasa in Houston, Texas. The Kailasa, again, more photos of Kailasa in Houston, Texas. The Kailasa in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Kailasa in New York. The Kailasa in Washington, D.C. The Kailasa in Toronto, Canada. The Kailasa in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona. The Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri. The Kailasa in Oman. The Kailasa in Dubai. The Kailasa in London, UK. The Kailasa in Scotland, UK. The Kailasa in Netherlands. The Kailasa in Slovakia. The Kailasa in Belgium. The Kailasa in Luxembourg. The Kailasa in Austria. The Kailasa in Germany. The Kailasa in Italy. The Kailasa in France. The Kailasa in Switzerland. The Kailasa in Mauritius. The Kailasa in South Africa. The Kailasa in Salem. The Kailasa in Hosura. The Kailasa in Patna. The Kailasa in Varanasi. The Kailasa in Rajapalayam. The Kailasa in Hyderabad. Kailas in Kerala. Go to the next slide. The Kailas in Gujarat, which is the Yogini Sarvajna. You can see all of these Kailasas that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has created across the globe and various countries and various cities across the globe, just these enlightenment ecosystems to ensure that humanity is able to be guided through this pralaya to bring the new age, the Satya Yuga ultimately, and to give the super conscious breakthrough to humanity. And it is out of his deepest compassion that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been continuously blessing people through these various enlightenment ecosystems and has continuously been providing various programs and initiatives for helping people through this pralaya. So if you want to learn more about that, you can visit kailasa.org and learn more how you can be part of Kailasa and benefit from all of the offerings the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has given to humanity. You can sign up to become an e-Kailashian and avail all of the opportunities to experience the super conscious breakthrough for yourself. So with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program and entering into the next segment where we will understand some of the offerings made to Devi Parashakti. So we can stay tuned and understand how we can connect with Devi Parashakti more deeply, how we can receive all things from Devi herself much more deeply. So stay tuned for the next segment. We'll be right back after a very short break.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம்
Nithyanandam, and welcome back to all the participants, to all of the viewers who are joining us for this program. As we are entering into the next segments, and we're going to be having, once again, the live Parashakti Akashic reading at 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And each and every one of you can experience the most beautiful, intimate, sacred space of the very cosmic womb of Devi Parashakti. You will literally be able to manifest a breakthrough in your life. You'll be able to ask your questions, receive healing, have the ultimate breakthrough. And you will see how so much in your life reveals itself to you and how you literally are able to play a part in the grand Leela of the cosmos. Now, in this next segment, you'll now be understanding how you can make different offerings today. The various different offerings of that you can make to Devi Parashakti. So if I can request the slides to be shared. And once we project that, we'll get into today's segment on the various offerings that you can make for Devi Parashakti. An offering is made out of pure love and yes, an offering is made out of pure love, devotion, and oneness with the divine. And each and every one of you can experience the most intimate space, deep feeling connection with the divine through these. So without further ado, let's get started on these different offerings. An offering is an offering of, it's a giving of a divine gift out of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two parts. One is giving and the other is accepting. Only when an offering is, and when it is made out of pure love and gratitude, it can actually be accepted. And only when it is accepted, it is complete. An offering never has any component of fear or greed a part of it. And when you make an offering, you simply become a part of the grand Leela of the avatar. There are various different offerings that you can make today, and not just in perhaps gold offerings, but as well different kinds, various different offerings that you can make, and you'll never feel as if you cannot make a certain amount or you're not able to. You will simply see whatever you want to manifest, whatever you are capable of doing right now, you can offer, and simply it is a divine gift in your life. Once again, if I can request the slide share to start. We have the Igundi offering, the Sankalpa offering, as well the Sankalpa offering, and as well even the gold offerings such as the Swarna Metti, the Swarna Mantika, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, and many of these are offerings that you can make in various different levels. So if you feel that you're not able to make it in a certain level or for a certain amount of money, you can make it for a different level. And there's also the offerings that you can make directly to the Supreme Quantum of Buddhism himself as well. Yes. So Understand that masculine and feminine, both consciousness, have to be expressed equally by every human being to be enlightened. Until enlightenment, only the masculine dimension expresses more than the feminine dimension, irrespective of male or female physical bodies. The next slide, please. And every human being has to complete with these 5 dimensions to achieve enlightenment. One is the Pitrus, or the ancestors. The second is the Kula Devatas, the family deities. The third are your parents. The fourth is nature. And the fifth is the Guru. Incompletions that you might have that need to be completed are life negative and adharmic cognitions in these 5 dimensions, which leads to misconstrued karana and karya, or the cause and effect, further leading to suffering and pain and calamities in the individual and personal levels, as well as the collective and global levels. And being sensitive is being aware in gratitude to life. Everything from the air we breathe, the place that we sit, the energy to feel that you exist, energy to celebrate that you exist, everything is something that we can be grateful for. And there are 43 energies that constitute our human body. And when all 43 of these energies are integrated to Dharma, that is when one becomes enlightened. Dharma, or the cosmic motherly completion and sensitivity from the level of Panchabhutas, is the core principle of the cosmos. And as you can see here, we have a photograph of the Sri Meru, which is the 3-dimensional representation of the Brahmanda Yoni, the feminine consciousness. Each corner of this Sri Meru is one of those representative of those 43 energies. And in the Sri Vidya Puja, we are worshipping each and every one of those 43 different triangles that make up the Sri Meru, or the Sri Chakra. That is a very beautiful aspect and science inside of the sacred feminine worship from Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And awakening the sacred feminine is key to enlightenment. When awakened man expresses the sacred feminine consciousness, he becomes a great revered leader. And he becomes a great revered leader. When awakened woman expresses sacred feminine consciousness, she becomes Devi, the cosmic mother, expressing powers. And the key to awakening sacred feminine consciousness is conscious sovereignty. And out of millions of paths, the easiest, sweetest, most beautiful path to enlightenment is the connection with the cosmic mother, the cosmic feminine consciousness, and Devi Parashakti. She is the one who expresses as the Guru all gods and all manifestations in the universe. She can straight away deliver enlightenment by connecting through the cosmic umbilical cord. And when you make these offerings, you should understand that offerings are not to the benefit of the divine, but to close our gap within the divine consciousness. When we achieve completion with the Divine Mother, her infinite powers with her sweet grace starts nourishing all our dimensions through the cosmic umbilical cord. And when we're making an offering, there is nothing too small or too big which you can offer to connect with the Divine Mother. It has to be from a space of love of a child looking at a mother and handing her what it has to share out of her deep love and gratitude. It can be a cup of milk or a flower, or it can be a precious jewel to adorn her smiling face or her hair. And Vedic rishis have clearly stated the techniques to connect with sacred feminine consciousness, to awaken the same qualities in us. One can connect with Paramashiva through oneness, but with Divine Cosmic Mother, it is only by worshipping her feet with devotion. Mother worship is the most non-violent, most peace-centered, most healing, soothing, and sweetest path to enlightenment among all traditions on planet Earth. Worshipping includes contemplating, meditating through sacred offerings of mantras and oblations at her feet. Mother worship is the most non-violent, once again, most peace-centered, sweetest path to enlightenment. And through these offerings, I invite each and every one of you to experience that sacred space of non-violence, peace, healing, soothing, and sweet connection to Devi Parashakti. Now let us understand why the Divine Feminine. How does it make her ultimate? And here's a beautiful verse from the Rig Veda. And if you just see, we'll go on into the English translation. The translation says, I walk as the 11 Rudras, I walk as the Vasus, I walk as Vishnu and other Adityas in all divine forms. Hold aloft Mitra and Varuna, even as Indra and Agni I do, and the Ashwin twins too. This is the Rig Veda. And Ekadasha Rudras, Maharudra, Ashtavasus, Dvadasha Adityas, Vishve Devata, all of them are in my retinue. I move around them in my various forms with them as my retinue. I protect all of them, including Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Agni, and Ashwini Devatas. Devi herself declares as the inner self of all gods, divine energies. She is pervading and all-permeating. Now, we'll go into the various different offerings to Devi Parashakti. First, we have the e-hundi, which you can make for any amount. It is a general donation that you can make either through the YouTube Super Chat or through the registration form or the payment gateway that we have available for any of the yajamans. And there's a beautiful reference here from the Lalita Sahasranamam, which I'll now be chanting. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadaradya, Sharvani Sharmadaini. And is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. If there is any fear in the minds of devotees, you can be assured that Devi Parashakti will remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant that autumn of our lives, when thoughts turn more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes stronger. And in this verse, Shambhavi is a consort of Shambhu or Lord Shiva. Sharadharadhya means worship by Sharadha. Sharvani means wife of Lord Shiva, and the Linga Purana says that Lord Shiva is called as Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadhaini means Devi who bestows happiness in devotees. So you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika, and your name shall be chanted out during Jataguru. So you can offer any amount in this evenly donation, and once again, it is either through the payment gateway or through the YouTube super chat that you can make these offerings. The next we have the Sankalpa offering. And in the Saundarya Lahari, which is composed by the great incarnation of Paramashiva, Adi Shankaracharya, he has written and sung Japo Jalpa Shilpam Sakalam Api Mudra Virashana Gati Pradakshinanya Pramanam Asadya Ahuti Vidihi, which the translation says, let the mantras I chant with the sacrifice of my soul become the chanting of your name. Let all my movements become auspicious mudras. Let my travel become perambulations around thee. Let the act of eating and drinking become fire offerings or oblations in the homa or yajna to thee. Let my act of sleeping become my salutations to you. Let all my actions of pleasure of mine become a part of your worship. It's such a beautiful verse that can literally just cause so much of beautiful inside of you. Especially the line, let all actions of pleasure of mine become part of your worship. Let me enjoy you, let me worship you is really what Adi Shankaracharya is meaning and saying here. So in the Sankalpa mantra, you'll simply see how you're worshiping the divine and enjoying the divine. And you'll have the blessings for both the asked and unasked, remembered and forgotten wishes to manifest by the grace of Devi Parashakti. And next we have the Sahasranama Swarnakasu. And in this offering, you can receive the blessings to manifest and awaken the multiple divine feminine conscious attributes and powers. The next offering is the Mukta Amuti, or the finger ring with a pearl. And here in another verse, it says, this is from Devi Suktam, verse number 30, where it says, in the English translation, I'll just be reading out. Let the goddess who brings good fortune, who is praised by gods, who is served by Devendra, who is praised by Devas, troubled by Asuras, who is praised and remembered as devotion to her solves all, who is the source of all good in the world, let that goddess destroy all obstacles. And this offering brings blessings for the protection from all dangers and fears. And next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa. And in this offering, we have the verse from the Lakshmi Ashtakam, where I'll chant Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayini Mantra Murte Sadal Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. The English translation says, Devi who bestows accomplishments and intellect, who showers worldly prosperity, Devi whose power is the subtle mantra of the cosmos, I bow down to you, O Devi Mahalakshmi. In this offering, you'll literally receive blessings for attracting the positive relationships in your personal and business dimensions. The next offering is the Swarna Metti. And in the Saundarya Lahari, once again, Adi Shankaracharya is describing that Lord Brahma, the creator of yours, selects the dust from your feet and creates he this world. The great Adishesha with 1,000 heads somehow carries a dust of your feet with effort great, and the great Lord Rudra takes it and powders it nice and uses it as holy ash. In this offering of the Swarna Matti, you will have the blessings for a life of leadership qualities by offering worship to the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, achieved by even by worshipping a tiny grain of dust from her feet. The Metti is a gold toe ring to worship by adorning the divine Devi Parashakti's feet. And the next offering is the Mantika, and in this offering is called the Devi Parashakti is described as Shuddha Sarvi Varshini, or she who makes the nectar flow from the Sahasrara, the crown center, to the Agnya, the third eye or the browsing center, and permeates through all 72,000 nadis or energy centers to give us the ultimate experience of the cosmos. And if you don't know Devi Parashakti, the hairline jewelry or the Mantika is the jewelry that goes from the crown center until the forehead, and it's just a gold chain that we traditionally wear. And literally, it can give you the blessings of an enlightened lifestyle. And the next offering we have is the Pratyakshapada Puja. The Pratyakshapada Puja is a very sacred and special offering to the feet of the Guru. And here there's a verse from another composition of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, where he is singing Guru Ragni Padme Manaschenna Lagnam Tatakyam 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 Tatakyam. And the entire verse translation says, my repute has traveled in all directions through my philanthropy and prowess. All the things of this world are in my hands as rewards of my virtues. Yet if one's mind be not centered upon the lotus feet of the Guru, what then? What then? What then? This offering, Devi Parashakti, is literally the Guru or the representation of the Guru. The next slide, please. And the feminine consciousness is literally the one who is beyond the idea of male and this most auspicious offering to Guru, of the Cosmic Mother, the one who is the teacher, the guide, the one who is the very one who teaches you your first steps, your first language, and the one who teaches you your first lessons on integrity, on how to handle life, on how to hold yourself, is the mother in our lives. And with that same compassion, the form of Guru, Devi Parashakti, teaches us enlightenment itself. So you can offer your gratitude with this Pratyakshapada Puja, and you'll be blessed with the sweetest path to enlightenment, with the connection with it. And the next offering here is the Vastra Seva. The Vastra Seva is the offering of the clothes to the Guru, or the Guru dimension of the Cosmic Mother. And during the Pratyakshapada Puja, you'll be able to offer the Vastram offering, and it'll bestow one sweetest path to enlightenment and complete completion. And next we have the E-Hundi. So here we have a summary of all of the various offerings that you can do. The E-Hundi offering, the Sankalpa. The E-Hundi offering is an offering you can make for any amount. The Sankalpa offering is an offering you can make for $1. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu is an offering you can make for $75, $151, or $251. The Mukta Anguti is an offering you can do for $251, $501, and $751. And the Swarna Padma Pushpa is an offering you can make for $600, for $1,200 and for $1,800. The Swarnameti is an offering you can make for $750. And the Mamtika is an offering you can make for $750. And the Pratyakshapada Puja is also an offering you can make for $1,008. And the Vastra Seva is an offering you can make for $1,008 as well. So these are all the various offerings that you have as options today. This is the link for making an offering. If you're interested, if you'd like to make an offering right away, you can go to gateway.nithyanandeshwara.product/NHTLA/product/Parashakti-Bhava-darshan-actions. So you can follow this link in order to make a payment. So once you follow this link, the page that you'll land on will look exactly like this. And this is a screenshot, and you can just use this as a reference in order for you to be guided and know exactly how you can. So once you're in this page, you can also see other different offerings. So we have offerings that we'll be having for Ganesha Chaturthi, as well as the upcoming festivals. So once you're here, you can go ahead and select the offering that you'd like to make in the drop-down menu. And you can select one of the offerings that you are interested and you are yearning to make as an offering of gratitude to Devi Parashakti. And after you press that, you will be led to this page where you can review your cart, make sure that you're ready and you're having all the items in your cart which you want to make as an offering today. And of course, you can make multiple offerings as well, if you are feeling you'd like to. Then you can go to this page, the next page, proceed to checkout and fill out your billing details and your payment details as well, to be able to see where you can fill out your credit card information and also the different types of cards that are accepted by this payment gateway. So make sure you filled out all the required forms, and then you can ensure that you are as well making the payment. And that's it. For the payment gateway, you'll be able to simply make those slides. And next, as you can see here, this is another option that we have for making a payment, which is the YouTube chat. And make sure that you are joined as a member on Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. If you're joining with us on YouTube right now, you can go to you can just click on join where it says underneath this video. So Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And right next to that, you'll see the join button. And then on the Parashakti, then on this video, and once you're joined, you can fill out your payment details as well. So once you click join, it'll give this pop-up window, and you'll see the different options of how you can join. As you can see, there's an option for e-Kailashian in bronze, which is $2.99 per month, and e-Kailashian in silver, which is just $5, just under $5. The e-Kailashian gold level, which is just under $10. There's the e-Kailashian in the platinum level, which is just under $35, and then the e-Kailashian premium level, which is just under $100. So you have several different layers if you or levels if you want to if you want to join in any of these levels, and you can become a member of the channel. And there's so many different benefits of becoming a member as well, including access to more than 20,000 various different darshans and dikshas, as well is different, even the question answer sessions from various different breakthrough mandala processes and inner awakenings, which Swamiji has done all over the world. So all of these are available for you on YouTube, and you can join as a member and get access to each and every one. You'll also have the access to even the notifications for every time there is a live video. Yes. So as you can see, we have the various different ways that you can make a payment. So if you want to join on our channel, you can go to Google Pay, and you can either pay through Google Pay, which many of us are doing nowadays. It's a very easy form of payment, not just online, but also in different shops as well. And we also have the credit card option and the PayPal option. So if you don't have any other options, and really want to make an offering today, use Google Pay or PayPal. Yes. So this is the gateway again. So this is okay. And if I can request to project the slide for the e-Hundi, the last few minutes I have, I'd love to enrich each and every one of you to make an offering right now with the e-Hundi offering, and each and every one of you can join in with us, and you'll be able to even have the darshan within just a few hours, the live Parashakti Akashic reading, and I encourage and invite each and every one to be a part of this extremely intimate, sacred experience. These offerings are a way that you can enjoy, you can offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti. And even right now, as we are gathering on this channel, I invite each and every one of you, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and make the Hundi offerings on the YouTube Super Chat. The Super Chat is another way that you can make an offering. If you're joined as a member of the YouTube channel, you can click the $ in the right-hand side below the chat. And then once you click that, you'll see the options either for YouTube, the Super Chat or the Super Sticker. Super Chat is just a general donation that you can make. And Super Sticker is also a sticker that you can send just to show your love in the digital platform to Devi Parashakti. Of course, she is sitting just to receive the love, the devotion, and help take care of each and every one of us. So now, just within a few minutes, we will be entering into the next segment as well. The next segment, we will be introduced to the administrators of the Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham. And they have been continuously working in order to ensure that the Kailasa COVID care centers in India are working and fully functioning and continuously able to make a difference in the Yes, we can briefly go over the last 5 minutes before going into the next segment of today's program, how you can ask your questions today during the live Parashakti Akashic readings. One, in YouTube, during the live program, while darshan is happening, when we have all had the beautiful darshan of Devi Parashakti, you can ask your question in the chat, the live chat. So make sure you're joined as a member of the YouTube channel, Kailasa's HDH YouTube channel, and that'll give you access to ask questions directly to Devi Parashakti, and you'll see how Devi Parashakti, with her grace, your question will be answered, and literally brings so much of healing and so much of clarity in the past, present, and future. And as well, you will be able to have so many breakthroughs in your life through this, through just asking a question. So then also on on Twitter, if you're on Twitter and joining us on the live program on Twitter, you can go to the live Twitter feed right now, and you can hit reply and use the hashtag #AskTheAvatar as well, and ensure that you are tagging the official handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is at Sri Nithyananda, and you can make sure that you are replying or asking your question to Devi Parashakti during the live darshan. And finally, you can also ask your question on Facebook. If you're joining us from Facebook, you can comment in the comments below on this live video during the live darshan, and that's a simple way that you can ask your question. Finally, on Instagram, on the post for the for today's darshan, you can ask your question as well, and you'll also be able to you'll also be able to ask your question through WhatsApp. If you go to kailasa.org, you will be able to see the widget for asking your questions on WhatsApp, and you will once you are done with that, and your question will, with the grace of Devi Parashakti, you'll be able to have the answer to your question from Devi Parashakti herself. And you can also ask your questions through the live chat. So within just a few hours, we're going to be the divine presence and experiencing the grace of Devi Parashakti. And each and every one of you can participate if you'd like to. And if you already had a very beautiful experience with Devi, I invite you to comment in the chat below about what your experience was. If you've had a breakthrough, many people have shared that they have had breakthroughs in this program, specifically during the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading program, in so many different levels, in the level of health, wealth, in relationships, in so many different ways. Devi Parashakti manifested in their life, and without any effort from their side. And we've had even sharings of how people have healed from even the brink of their lives being lost, even and people who have even had the lives of their loved ones being saved, and so many other beautiful manifestations of Devi Parashakti in their lives. So now we're coming to a conclusion of this segment in today's program, and we're going to be moving on into the next segment, where we will be going over the various contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Kailasa COVID Care Centers. So we'll now get back to you after a quick break, and I now invite each and every one of the viewers to ensure that you are getting ready for within 3 hours the live darshan of Devi Parashakti. Make sure that you're sharing in all the social media platforms. Take a minute to share as well. And you can share in all the different social media platforms. You can inform your friends, and make sure that you are sharing and getting to know more about the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading So without and we'll also in this program be hearing from various different devotees who have had the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, and they will be sharing with us about their experience and how Devi made a breakthrough happen in their lives. Yes. So within just a short time, we will be having the divine grace and be sitting literally in the presence of Devi Parashakti herself. I invite all of the viewers to take a few minutes right now and share with all of your friends and whomever you feel will benefit deeply from this experience, will connect deeply with the divine cosmic mother. You can invite them to this experience and invite them to ask a question during the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. In a few short minutes, we will be moving on into the next segment of today's program after a quick break.
ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி.
Nithyanandam everyone. So welcome back to this segment, the revival of the temple ecosystems, which are now the COVID Care Protection Center, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let's chant with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So across the India, the famous temples are shutting down. For example, amidst the COVID-19, the famous temple of Siddhi Vinayaka temple of Maharashtra and Sai Baba temple were closed down for an indefinite period due to the pandemic. And Puri Jagannath temple, the famous Puri Jagannath temple, is closed for devotees due to the pandemic for an indefinite period imposed by the Odisha government. And not only that, all religious places closed for public in Bhubaneswar as the city records the highest daily COVID surge, with the Odisha capital Bhubaneswar registering the highest ever single-day spike of 581 new COVID-19 cases. The local municipal authorities declared the closure of all religious places like temples, mosques, gurudwaras and churches for devotees till further order. In Uttar Pradesh, 2 major temples of the Sapta Devalaya, the cluster of 7 temples in Vrindavan, of devotees in view of the rising COVID-19 cases. Gujarat famous Somnath temple closed for darshan amidst the COVID-19 surge for an indefinite period. On the other hand, in Tamil Nadu, Chola era temples, the murtis were beheaded. The murtis of Chola era temple have been vandalized in Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu. A devotee who went to temple was shocked to find all the murtis in the temple in a beheaded state. He lodged a complaint with the local police later. In Kailasanatha temple, in a village in Pudukkottai, is said to belong to the era of Puluchonga Chola. With Shiva as the presiding deity, the temple houses other deities such as Ganesha, Parvati, Murugan, Krishna and Nandi. All of these murtis were discovered in a beheaded state 2 days ago. So now in the time when the COVID-19 is rampant and the ancient temples are in a lockdown because of the risk of the widespread corona disease, the devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years. Yet all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdown have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of the online platforms on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. So let us understand the temple sciences, starting with the why deity worship, why so many temples are there in Hinduism, what is a temple, what is the science behind the temple. We will learn in this segment. So, why deity worship? What are these so many deities in Hinduism? What Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these temple ecosystems are also now the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, and which are also, some of them are COVID care protection centers. So let us understand the basics of these. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always says deities are not mere idols. They are embodiment of ideals. We do not worship the idols. We worship the ideals represented through the idols. When the divine is present before him in a form that he can see, touch and relate to, the transmutation becomes an easy and joy. Second, deities in a real kshetra are always real sacred place where the enlightenment energy is radiated for thousands. The real kshetra are always curved in the form of ancient masters and enlightened beings. Even though no longer in the body, they can be invoked through the name or form they used while in the physical plane. When we pray to the deity or chant his name, the corresponding divine vibration is automatically awakened and becomes available on the energy plane to guide and bless us. We mastered the science of bringing the divine to the deities and expressing the divine through the deities. The whole science has been mastered in the Vedic tradition. The revival of temples will be the revival of world peace and world bliss. Revival of temple culture, the deity worship where people are made to look in, that is where the revival of Sanatana Dharma, the Advaita Satya is going to happen. The deities in various temples are various forms of the deities. The divine has infinite auspicious qualities. In Sanskrit, we call as Ananta Kalyana Gunas. With those Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine manifests in various different forms. And Each form has got its own a special boon to give, special blessings to give to each one of us. For example, Shiva saved Markandeya from death, and that became an independent deity, Kala Kala. Same way, he danced in ecstasy, that action became Nataraja. Vishnu's very action of showering blessings on the world becomes Lakshmi. Brahma's very action of constantly sharing wisdom becomes Saraswati. So each of the actions of the ultimate becomes independent intelligence and energy. So when you connect with those independent intelligences, those deities, whatever you want immediately happens. Whatever result you want, worship with those rights, with those divine energies who are the personification of those specific actions. Immediate results are achieved by connecting with those deities in this world. This can be a powerful method through which we can achieve whatever we want in our life. So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. So, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, over the period of 2 decades, tirelessly worked to revive or establish the temple ecosystems, establish Kailasas across the globe, across the continents, in many, many places. So let's understand what Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealing to this world about the temple sciences. Reviving the enlightened civilization is the vision of Kailasa, the purpose of my advent. Paramashiva assuming this body and manifesting, says the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Kailasa is basically an enlightened civilization where everything happens based on the ultimate cosmic principle and the ultimate possibilities and powerfulness. You want to know about the ultimate universe, just they will show you the universe and teach you. You want to know about the cosmos, they will just show you the cosmos and simple, straightforward. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we had at least 10,000 sampradayas, religions, spiritual traditions, keeping the enlightenment science alive. Understand, each Hindu sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created for keeping the enlightenment science alive. Every monastery, every adhinam, every unit, every mutt, every temple, every Veda Patashala, every Sarvajna Pita is a lineage sampradaya created to keep the ecosystem of enlightenment alive. Kailasa is basically an enlightened civilization where everything happens based on the ultimate cosmic principle and ultimate possibilities and powerfulness. You just know about the universe, just they will show you the universe and teach you. You just know about the cosmos, they will just show you the cosmos and simple, straightforward. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we had at least 10,000 sampradayas, religious, spiritual traditions, keeping this enlightenment science alive. Each Hindu Sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created for keeping the enlightenment science alive. Some may be Shakta, some may be Yoga, some may be Vedanta, some may be Tantra, some may be Yoga Vedanta, some may be Yoga Shaiva, some may be Vaidika Shaiva, all kinds of permutation and combination. Each temple, each math, each monastery, each adhinam, each Veda Patashala, each Sannyasa Sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created to keep the enlightenment science alive of that Sampradaya. Hindu temples are not just worship altars or religious congregation place or just a memorial for certain legendary person or incident. Hindu temples are residences of God. That is why in Chidambaram, Nataraja is one of the Dikshita. In Sri Rangam, Ranganatha is one of the Bhaktar who are doing the puja. Temples are residences of the divine in Hindu tradition. Of course, in reality, any tradition. So there was a time Hinduism had 56 nations, 200 states, 1,700 provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas. Almost 95% of the population of those days were Hindus. And slowly, the brutal terrorists invading, life-negative gangs enter, destroy, rob, and plunder the temples, destroy the spiritual ecosystem, the enlightenment ecosystem. In last 1,000 years, we did not have a single nation, we did not have a single state, we did not have a single province practicing Hinduism as a state religion. Legitimately, and in 10,000 sampradayas, without any doubt, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says only 200 left alive, struggling to be alive. Three unique things of Hinduism: they are ability to make the divine land and get rooted on the deity, that's called Prana Pratishta, and incarnations landing the ecosystem where the incarnations land, the enlightenment spiritual ecosystem where the incarnations happen. And the third thing, devotion to the feminine consciousness, Devi worship. These three are unique to Hindu tradition. The enlightenment ecosystem, Adi Kailasa, the main headquarters, like this Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetam, every monastery temple is an ecosystem for keeping the enlightenment science alive and flourish, which can automatically make people enlightened. It is like enlightenment, automatic machinery. Anybody comes in, they just get introduced, inspired, excited, energized, and made to power manifestator, enlightened, and start radiating, and they start spreading. Enlightenment becomes the source for energy and excitement. A person who can make enlightenment as a source for energy and excitement for anyone is an incarnation. Fortunately, we are successful in making enlightenment as a source for energy and excitement to millions of people all over the world. This whole Kailasa is the revival of that enlightened civilization. A temple is a place where an intense cosmic energy is available for everyone to experience. Significantly, all the major Vedic temples built over the cultures, centuries, have been consecrated by the enlightened masters. Or rather, the temple has grown around the intense energy field established by an enlightened master for the benefit of humankind. Just as a rich man leaves behind his wealth for the next generation after he leaves the body, enlightened masters leave behind the huge energy that they bring with them in the form of temples. For instance, the four main Shankara Peetams were established by the 8th century master Adi Shankara. The Chidambaram temple by Patanjali, the Palani temple by the Siddha Bhogar, the Arunachaleshwara temple by the Saint Idekadar, Tirupati by Konganavar, and Tanjore by Kuruvurar. The powerful spiritual vibrations present in these places are so palpable that even the most casual visitor can feel its impact, its effects in the form of peace, bliss, or clarity. When maintained properly, using the subtle powers of mantras, rituals, and meditation, temples can hold and radiate this precious energy for thousands of years. The temple structures, the basics of the temple structures. The powerful spiritual vibrations present in these places are so palpable that even the most effects in the form of peace, bliss, or clarity. When maintained properly using the subtle powers of mantras, the rituals, and meditation, temples can hold and radiate this precious energy for thousands of years. Temples are found deliberately at a place where the positive energy is available abundantly from the magnetic and electric wave conveyances of north and south poles push. The idol of God is set in the core center of the temple, known as Garbhagriha, the sanctum sanctorium. This is the area where the Earth's magnetic field is discovered to be the most extreme. Therefore, it is the energy source. The Dvajastambha, the flagpole, behaves as a transformer. The huge domes are for amplifying the energy. Temples were systematically built for the transmission of energy on a large scale. The temples and the enlightened masters. Again, when a rich man dies, he leaves behind his wealth to his wife, his daughters, sons. And when an enlightened master leaves the body, they leave their wealth of energy, penance, and the goodness to the humanity at a large. And the temples are built on those energy fields left behind by them. So either the masters themselves built these temples when they are alive, or the people build them after the masters leave the body. These temples are further sanctified through rituals that harness the divine cosmic energy. The famous temple at Kedarnath in the Himalayan range was built by the great master Shankara. The Arunachaleshwara temple of Tirunamalai, South India, is ascribed to a great saint called Idekadan. These temples are divine gifts of these great masters to humanity. And how the energization process happens in the temples. The deities are energized. There are two types of people. The first type generate energy from their own system, and they are like the solar system. Wherever they are, they produce energy. They radiate energy, and whatever they do, they excel in it. Whatever they touch flourishes. They are the one who nourish the world, and they are the enlightened masters. The second type of people are those who have forgotten the art of producing energy from their inner source. These people may flourish, but may only in one or two fields, and that too out of the superficial energy source called mind. Since their source is superficial, multidimensional flourishing remains a dream for them. These are the ordinary people from the world. The first category of people help the second category by giving energy to it, by giving a clear-cut technology to achieve. The installing the deities, what is the science behind them? As per Vedic sciences, there are two ways to install energy in a deity. One is Agama Pratishta and the other is Prana Pratishta. In Agama Pratishta, energy installation is done by the second category of people. It is done essentially through chanting of mantras. This method will install only a few volts of energy. The energy intensity will be decided by nature of the mantras, the accuracy with which it is chanted, and above all, the psychological state of the person chanting them. In Prana Pratishta, the energy installation is done by the first category of people. It happens through a direct connection with the divine cosmic energy that nourishes the whole universe. The first category of people, that is the enlightened masters, are pure channel for the divine cosmic energy to flow through. They can choose what manifestation of the energy they wish to install. For the goodwill of society, masters have worked on the science of the inner world and have installed various aspects of the divine energy in these temple deities. Every historic temple has its own significance. Each deity has its own boon to offer depending on the type of energy installed in it. That is why, in order to conceive children, you go to a particular temple. In order to wed a suitable spouse, you go to a different temple. To defy planetary influences, you go to a different temple. And for financial problems, you go to a different temple. These benefits are nothing but the special energy packs. Temples are structures that replace an enlightened master's presence. Masters, by the sheer presence, heal people. They heal not just the physical level, but at the being level. They keep the inspiration for spirituality alive. Their presence offers an ambience of sacredness. Temples are spaces created by masters to offer the same things that. While consecrating the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva temple sanctum at the Bangalore Adinam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said, "An enlightened master is the cosmos in human form, the ultimate human form fit to perform a sanctum consecration. For an enlightened master, the energies of expression through any means never get exhausted." For example, for an ordinary human being, the grief emotion or the joy emotion exhausts when expressed through tears. The pitta, the fire element of the body, exhausts through anger. The lust energy exhausts through sexual act. The power of speech exhausts in his very saliva the moment it is uttered. All these energies of expression become exhausted as he uses them. An enlightened master's energy of expression cannot be exhausted through any of these means, because he is existence, the inexhaustible source of energy in human form, because masters do not need a body to execute their work. They can continue to do the things they do even after they have left their physical body. The sanctum created and energized by them will radiate inexhaustible energy and nurture energy being that seeks it. Only a master who can function without the help of his body is capable of creating true sanctum, one that will materialize things exactly the way he does it. Now, let us see how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously worked to establish the Prana Pratishta temple ecosystems
श्रीनित्यशिखरदर्शनं समस्तपापहरणं जन्मराहित्यम् अणिभेदोत्तिगदरा श्री परमहंस नित्यानंद भ्रमरांब दिव्यक्षेत्रं दर्शिंచి మోక్షమే ఉందండి భక్తులారా. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. 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 మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. ఓం హర హర నిత్య హర హర నిత్య. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. నాలుగు ప్రవేశ ద్వారములు నిత్య సన్నిధికి అవి మార్గములు. నాలుగు ప్రవేశ ద్వారములు నిత్య సన్నిధికి అవి మార్గములు. చిత్తపడము త్రిపురాంతకము నిత్య మహేశ్వర అలంపురం. చిత్తపడము త్రిపురాంతకము నిత్య మహేశ్వర అలంపురం. ప్రతి ద్వారం అవి తీర్చును భక్తుల కోరికలు. ప్రతి ద్వారములో తీర్థములు అవి తీర్చును భక్తుల కోరికలు. నేత్రానందము శైశైలం శుభయోగము కూర్చున్న శ్రీశైలం. నేత్రానందము శైశైలం శుభయోగము కూర్చున్న శ్రీశైలం. ఓం హర హర నిత్య హర హర నిత్య. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. 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 మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. ఓం హర హర నిత్య హర హర నిత్య. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. నిత్య హృదయమే శ్రీశైలం ఆరునిదేజమే శ్రీశైలం. నిత్య హృదయమే శ్రీశైలం ఆరునిదేజమే శ్రీశైలం. జోకోదరుడు జియకరుడు శ్రీ నిత్యరుని శుభక్షేత్రము. జోకోదరుడు జియకరుడు శ్రీ నిత్యరుని శుభక్షేత్రము. మహిమాన్విత శ్రీశైలము భక్తుల యోగము. మహిమాన్వితము పవిత్రము శ్రీశైలము భక్తుల యోగము. వేదసారము పురాణము కీర్తించిన క్షేత్రము శ్రీశైలం. వేదసారము పురాణము కీర్తించిన క్షేత్రము శ్రీశైలం. ఓం హర హర నిత్య హర హర నిత్య. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. 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 మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. మోక్షమునర్చగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం. ఓం హర హర నిత్య హర హర నిత్య. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం. అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం 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 మోక్షమునసిగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం మోక్షమునసిగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం ఓం హర హర నిత్య అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం హర హర నిత్య అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం మోక్షమునసిగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం మోక్షమునసిగే శ్రీశైలం నిత్య సన్నిధి జయ గురు శైశైలం ఓం హర హర నిత్య అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం అదిగో అదిగో శ్రీశైలం నిత్య భక్తులకు నిత్య పురివాసం
So join the COVID care protection centers. Register now through the link below https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. The Kailasa's temple ecosystems. The Kailasa is a place where everything related to superconsciousness is revived. All the sampradayas, all the spiritual ecosystems created for enlightenment will be revived and established in such a way it never gets lost again. They are there forever serving the humanity. And now let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism of the revival of Hinduism temple ecosystems.
I am going to revive Hinduism by setting up a model community, enlightenment ecosystem. I am going to create absolutely from the scratch newly self-sustaining, temple-based Hindu ancient enlightenment ecosystem and civilization based on that. Understand? Kailasa is reviving the ancient Hindu enlightened civilization. Paramashiva himself manifested this Kailasa Mandala, the enlightenment ecosystem, and the lifestyle. I am going to revive this whole enlightenment ecosystem, Kailasa, by creating a model Kailasas all over the world. I am going.
The adulation of violence in recent lifestyle has enabled disruption in several nations, affecting millions of lives with the mental distress, physical health elements, defalcation of food supply, and pinpointed destruction to the infrastructure of several countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has dedicated his entire life and made it his mission to bring global peace and from the ground level through the Kailasa's Department of Religion and Worship and the Department of Human Services, to bring harmony to humanity, to create a life of freedom, to live freedom and peace for every individual on the planet Earth through the revival of the temple ecosystems. The director of the National Institute of Medicine pointed out that the environmental factors present both risk and protective influences on mental health. He grouped such factors into three groups. Individual factors such as the microbiome and natural and built-in components include green spaces, housing, and highways, which may play a role in the health disparities. The social factors like family structure, poverty, and other social determinants of health. From 1994 to this date, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has worked tirelessly in the revival of temple ecosystems globally through Kailasa Department of Religion and Worship and the Department of Human Services led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This lifelong commitment to the mission and vision of bringing global harmony, sustainable living, and reproducible ecosystem has been proven in building active, contributing temple ecosystems around the world. Now you can see the glimpses how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism tirelessly worked starting from 1994 to this date, continuously working to establish the Kailasa's temple-based ecosystems. So the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, and some of them are now the COVID care protection centers. You can see the glimpses conducting the various programs, various yatras, and various annadan celebrations, the sattvic free food, and the kara seva, leading by example, through Kailasa's ecosystems and the service to the relief food preparation, the flood relief areas. You can see more and more glimpses. So Kailasa's ecosystems are spread across the world and thousands of places. And starting from 1994, Kailasa in Tirunamalai is traditionally passed on to the hands of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by Mataji Vibhudananda Puri in 1994. And you can see that the Kailasa in Tirunamalai is serving the visitors and devotees and conducting various meditation workshops, religious the rituals, and various meditation workshops, initiations, serving at the key center, key adhinam, serving the humanity. And the Supreme, you can see some more glimpses where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism serving not only in India, the various adhinams in India and to the West also. You can see the first ecosystem established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the temple-based ecosystem of Kailasa, the Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio, the first temple established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism outside of India, and the Kailasa in Los Angeles, Washington, Seattle, Kailasa in San Jose, California, and Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri, and Kailasa in Phoenix, Kailasa in Houston, and Kailasa in Toronto, Canada. So Kailasa's Department of Religion and Worship, Department of Human Services, and each of Kailasa's temple ecosystems consider the right of happiness to be the highest fundamental right of all humans, in fact, all beings. The ultimate goal for Hinduism and Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the material and spiritual well-being and prosperity of humanity. To join the COVID care production centers of the temple-based ecosystems and register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/kailasa So now let us see the contribution from the Kailasa's Department of Religion and Worship during the COVID-19 pandemic. The banyan tree, the Kalpa Vriksha, continuously available online via live stream, and whoever pray to this Kalpa Vriksha gives the boons. And the deities, through live stream, you can see and have darshan and pray to these deities. On 12th May 2021, Devi Parashakti revealed that I came as Nija Avatar and I am blessing you, listen, and people listen to do good to all of you. I have taken the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nija Avatar. People of India, listen carefully and listen. Time after time, Bharatam is Jnana Bhumi, where enlightened being comes, and we cannot make Jnana Bhumi as infertile. Enlightened beings have to come. They have to live, it has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion, we cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save the cosmos from being destroyed, that is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa, because the conspiracy of Drohis and enemies rule, the captain has to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen, all Aushadas, by this Guru Purnima, the Rasavadam, Jnana Rasavadam, Navapashana is going to flower to allow people to come and take a dip in Navapashana flower. People, whoever comes and dip in this Sarovar, they will not have corona, they will not have death, they will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day, they will take a dip in the Ananda Lingam. On 13th May, Devi revealed that listen well to my words. For India, I made the ship as the protection, and the Nithyananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa, O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing Nithyananda Nija Avatara without confusion and without talking just as a lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Scores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana water feast, and meditate to get health and protection and enlightenment to protect India from the great destruction. I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, ship is there. When the first world countries closed their borders during global emergency, Kailasa has opened its not only doors to all without exception. To join the COVID care production centers, register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. You can see the various glimpses of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam from Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham. The various rituals happening. So join the COVID care production centers. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Now, let us listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks about deities holding energy when doing the prana pratishtha.
Actually, after the great pause settling, I wanted to do this Kumbhabhishekam, and then the Shivacharyas have advised us that only after the Uttrayanam, Uttrayana Punyakala means after the Uttrayana starts, we are having a good date, Uttamottama date for Kumbhabhishekam. So that's the reason we waited. And see, fundamentally, deity intensely receives the energy like a lightning and holds it and manifests continuously for the whole humanity. You see, it's like if I have to talk to you in a normal social language, it's like a lightning holder. See, I can get into the samadhi, one with Paramashiva, and bring the whole thing to planet Earth. But the deity should be able to hold it and manifest it, radiate it for the humanity. So that is the reason the beautiful, dense, most dense granite deity is made. The earlier, the Avudayar we made, too much of power manifestation, it has given crack in multiple places. I don't know how you guys will be able to believe. Maybe I'll tell them to show the video. Such dense granite cracks to pieces and so carefully maintained with so much of all the Abhishekam, Puja and everything. Crack is the last thing you can imagine in dense granite, but so many places that earlier Avudayar has had, and that's the reason we made the new deity with more dense granite. The deity is done so it can withstand the power manifestation and hold the power for quite a long time. Maybe at least next 12 years it can hold. And before that I'm planning for the different level of granite for Avudayar. I wanted to teleport from the other planets where the 100 times more dense than planet Earth's granite is available. And anyhow, all that I'll do it and then show, and instead of giving material for trolls, I'll give information after everything is achieved, after everything is done.
Now it's time we move on to the next part of this program, which is the power manifestation. So please stay tuned for the power manifestation after a very short break.